Hi friends! So today is my 7th day of dry fasting, and I wanted to make you a video and tell you all about my journey that I've had over the last 7 days. I didn't make videos each day for several reasons. One, and most importantly, I really wanted to go inwardly with this journey. I did a lot more self-seeking and spent a lot of time, well, just with myself. So I wanted to be able to do that. So what about my dry fast? Well, the most difficult part, I'll start with that. So dry fasting, first of all, I've gotten tons of questions that I've absolutely adored of all of you asking me why dry fasting, what a lot of you had comments about it being dangerous and not really too sure why it's necessary. And I wrote some notes for you about dry fasting, which I think is very important. I'm the kind of person that wants to know why behind something. I like the science behind something. So I don't want to just jump into something not knowing what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, most importantly. So I made you lots of notes, and I was going to share some of them with you. First, I'll go over the technical reasons of dry fasting. First of all, there's 4 factors that are found within dry fasting. They are the AMPK activation, and then mTOR inhibitor, and then the third factor is autography. And then the last is ketosis. So all of these factors don't happen without fasting. So what are these factors? What did I just say exactly? Well, the first one, the AMPK, it's an enzyme that serves as the body's master, and it regulates through a switch, and it inhibits multiple damaging factors by revitalizing anti-aging cells. Now, you can go to places like Life Force and get a supplement for it and use this. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. However, during dry fasting and water fasting, both of them is when this enzyme is activated, and it's very powerful. Well, let me go to the next one, which will explain a little bit more. The mTOR, this is a master growth regulator, and it senses the diversity in the environment that it's in. So it includes growth factors, energy levels, cellular stress, and amino acids. And the next one is really cool. Autography. Autography is a word, it's a Greek word, and it really means self-eating, which sounds really gross, I know. However, listen to this. It's very cool. It's a process that is important for balancing the source of energy at critical times in development and response to nutrient stress. It plays a key role in preventing diseases such as cancer, neurological diseases, and diabetes, arrhythmia, liver disease, and autoimmunity, which I hear a lot about today. I'm a coach for several people, and I talk about health nonstop. And autoimmunity always comes up. When people go to naturopaths today, they always come back with some kind of autoimmunity, especially with adrenals. So dry fasting through autography is the best way to clear up these types of infections, these autoimmune issues. So listen to this. So we all have acquired beliefs that humans can only survive 3 days or so without water or food. But mostly, I've heard, in my lifetime, water. Well, you might be surprised to learn that dry fasting is a therapeutic fast as long as 5, 7, 9 days. So what are the mechanics behind dry fasting? And I'm sorry I'm reading this to you, but my mouth is really dry. And I have this all on my brain, but I thought it'd be best to go down point by point so I wouldn't miss anything, because I also want to get to the questions that all of you had that I wanted to review as well. So during a dry fast, the body survives on so-called metabolic water, and it's produced internally as a result as it metabolizes tissue, unlike normal, like whenever you drink water, for example. This metabolic water is superb quality. Why? Because it's produced by the hard work of the cell during the time of a dry fast. It literally erases all the negative information, the imprint that the body has had before the fast, allowing the cell to experiment and kind of rebirth as a result. That's awesome. And under these conditions, during the dry fast, even the skin changes. From being an organ of elimination, because all of us know that, well, at least the skin is the third kidney. So it's always eliminating things through it, through our breath and out through the skin. So instead of it doing this job during a dry fast, from being an organ of elimination and it now serves as an organ of absorption, taking any available water from the air and supplying it to the healthy cells. Besides water, the body during a dry fast absorbs atmosphere, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen to manufacture its own amino acids. What? That's awesome! Each cell, in effect, becomes its own furnace, because there's no elimination happening, that burns up its own waste. So the next point is why I did the dry fast. So the next point I wanted to share with you is that inflammation cannot exist without water. It can't. So microorganisms need water to survive. This is the reason that dry fasting is so powerful, especially to address acute health issues. So what do a lot of those things mean? What's happened to me during this dry fast? Well, I've lost a lot of inflammation, because, like I just said, that inflammation needs water to exist. So inflammation is released from the body, and you immediately feel lighter. You feel healthier. Inflammation causes huge amounts of problems. If you don't know, it's what causes disease. And once you do release a lot of this inflammation in dry fasting, I can breathe better, for example. I don't have the heaviness in my lungs that I used to, and I feel happier, for sure. The brain is also made up of, it's almost 100% fat. So when you have inflammation or swelling around the brain or around the cells in the brain, you can't think as well. You lose your focus, you have brain fog, all kinds of things. So dry fasting eliminates a lot of that as well. So what other changes have happened? My skin feels perfect, like a baby. I have no oil. It's so smooth. I just feel great. I haven't had to wear any deodorant. I usually wear a crystal anyway, a Thai crystal for deodorant, and I haven't had to use any of that because I don't stink at all. My hair feels great. It feels really light and healthy. My teeth, they look whiter again. Oh, many of you asked how much weight I've lost. Well, I started at 143 fully dressed, and last night, so I haven't weighed myself today, but last night I went over and weighed myself, and I weighed 133.3. So, and a lot of, I'm not doing this for weight loss, even though that is a very nice feature of dry fasting, because you just feel smaller and you look great in everything you put on. So, but why I really dry fasted was, and this is probably going to make me cry, because it's an emotional topic for me. I've had chronic urticaria, hives, for 11 years of my life now, and I went to see every specialist known to man, every kind of allergist, every kind of dermatologist, people that they thought, just knew, oh, this is what it is. And I remember I spent $1,200 seeing a very famous doctor, and took gazillion tests, and my paperwork came back, and no lie, it was this thick, and he went through my blood and the serum and just everything, and he gave me tons of recommendations, and it didn't work, and I still had hives. And so I've been around the world, I've lived all around the world, and I've had these chronic hives with me everywhere that I went. And on my last fast, on day 4, 5, and 6, and 7, I got the hives. I got, all of a sudden, a really strong heart rate, which I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I got a very strong heart rate, and even some arrhythmia, and I lost my breath a little bit, and hives came from head to toe. And it was, it was scary, and scary in the sense that I was like, am I ever going to get over this? But for those of you who don't know me, I have very strong willpower. I will get over it, and I've tried everything to relieve myself of these hives. I really have. I've gone through some pretty serious, therapies to try this, and it's never broken me to the fact where I knew that someday I would walk away from this. And I really believe that when we have things that we deal with in our life, no matter what it is, whatever kind of, label somebody wants to label you with, whether it's hypothyroid or lupus or adrenal fatigue, whatever it is, whatever the label that somebody wants to hand out to you, there's a way. There is a way to heal yourself. And I can speak through that from this experience.